Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Hopefully, uh, it is a beautiful Saturday, but hopefully you have good, beautiful plans for your Saturday. Um, I'm Seville, for those of you who maybe haven't practiced with me before, and welcome to your Saturday morning chill class. um, One thing I love about these Saturday morning classes are it's kind of like a reset. If your week was anything like mine, Monday feels like it was 37 years ago. So, yeah, it's nice to have that reset every Saturday morning to get rid of the 37-year long week that you've just experienced. And as I was planning this class and thinking about this class throughout the week, I had one thing in mind, and then when I sat down to actually do the class and write it out, something else completely popped up. And I do love that about yoga, that you might think you know what you want, but then once you get on your mat, your body typically lets you know, hey, this is actually what we need. So today's class is going to be super flowy and fun. The playlist is kind of bumping and a lot of fun. So we are just going to have fun and we're going to flow. So there's not going to be much pause and holding of poses. But if that's something that you are wanting and craving for your practice, I will definitely give options of like, hey, you can hold this or you can start moving. So truly do what works best for you and what feels best for your body. Yeah. And if you need to just grab your favorite blanket and bring it to your yoga mat and sip your coffee or tea for the next hour, then like you do you, and it'll be so beautiful. All right, but let's get started on our backs. And I like to say that this is kind of the first check of doing what feels good for your body. So maybe the knees will be bent. Maybe the legs come out straight. Maybe the arms are alongside the body, palms face down or palms face up. Maybe you get onto your back and you're like, nope. And you want to come to a comfortable seat, whatever works best for you. And allow the eyes to either close, or if you want to keep them open, allow the gaze to get nice and hazy. And begin to follow the breath in and out of the body. Another nice thing about these Saturday morning classes, especially when they're at home, you typically just have to roll out of bed and roll onto your mat. Your breath isn't all worked up from the day quite yet. So it's easier, for the most part, to just drop into that deep, solid breath. Maybe you begin to equal out the inhale and the exhale. Maybe inhaling to the count of 4 and exhaling to the count of 4. And let's go ahead and bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Let's feel how the breath moves and flows the body. Already establishing our intention for our practice, which is going to be our breath. so that even though our practice is designed to be a little flowy and a little more of a moving practice this morning, that we're going to get all of our flow and all of our movement from our breath. Knowing that typically if our breath starts to become shallow or uneven or a little worn down, typically our body and our movements start to mirror that, start to feel shallow and worn down. But those big, beautiful, juicy breaths are what give us our big, beautiful, juicy movement in our body. And before we end up falling right back to sleep here, let's inhale the hands up toward the sky. We'll take a moment to roll the wrists around. Just do a gentle wake up. And with your next breath, let's reach the hands toward the back of the room, palms facing each other, and maybe your plant. And next breath, we'll bring the hands up toward the sky and then down toward the hips. So continue to follow your breath here. One breath to reach the hands back. One breath to reach the hands forward. And depending on how the shoulders and the low back are feeling, maybe the hands don't touch the ground behind you. Maybe they hover and then they come right back up. Just being really kind to the shoulders, to the low back. Just finding a moment to pair the breath and the body. And one more time, we'll reach the hands back. And then we'll reach the hands up and then forward. And let's bring the knees in toward the chest, hugging onto shins, knees, backs of the thighs, and we'll rock a little side to side. And let's plant the left foot on the earth, and we'll cross the right ankle over the left. And you'll find this figure 4 in the legs. Then you can start swaying the legs side to side if that feels good. And the hands can really be wherever. If you want them out in a T, if you want to start opening the heart or cactus arms, you can do that. Hands can be resting on the belly next to you. You're just taking a moment to wake up the legs a little bit. And maybe you find like that sweet spot as you're swaying side to side and you hang out there for a moment. And we'll come back to the center. And let's press the right foot up toward the sky. Feel free to keep a nice gentle bend in the knee. We'll wake up the foot a little bit, roll the ankle around, spread the toes wide, scrunch them in, work out all your snap, crackles, and pops. Feel free to stay here. And if you're going to stay here, you can always hold on to the backside of the hamstring. Or with your next breath, let's start to press the heel toward the front of your mat, allowing the leg to hover. And next breath, we'll press the heel back up toward the sky. So following your breath here. Again, yogi's choice on how much you lift and lower the leg. And the next time that the leg comes down, we're going to hold it there. So again, your choice on where the leg ends up. So feel free to stay here. Or you can begin to reach your fingertips toward that right foot. And maybe with your next exhale from deep in the belly, the head and shoulders start to leave the earth. We say, good morning, core. And try not to make your neck do all the work here. And let's bring the head and shoulders and arms down, right foot up toward the sky, and then down on the earth. Let's cross the left ankle over the right leg and start that swaying side to side. And recognizing without judgment that each side is a little different in the body. So this hip might need all the extra love and breath and swaying, or this hip might feel really awesome. We'll come back to the center and let's press that left heel up toward the sky, and we'll wake up our left foot. And as you feel ready, begin to press out through that heel. And next breath, you lower. Again, you always have the option to stay. And one breath to rise up. And one breath to lower. One more time. And then we'll lower and hold. Again, you can reach the fingertips toward that left foot. And maybe from deep in the belly, head and shoulders come off of the earth. And just a cute little good morning core moment. And imagine you have like the cutest little pillow behind your head and you're resting your head into that cute little pillow. Maybe you actually do have a pillow. I love it. And head and shoulders, arms down, foot back up toward the sky, and left foot meets right. We're going to bring the knees in toward the chest again, giving them a nice little squeeze. And then we're going to bring the knees over the hips. So your legs are at like a 45-degree angle, no, 90-degree angle. There we go. Math, it's a thing. Whatever degree angle. But the main thing is you want to keep the knees above the hips. And good morning, core. More moments of that. And if you want to, you can pretend that you have a block, a water bottle in between your knees, and you're squeezing that block or water bottle together. Or if you have one available, you can put that there, or back to your cute little pillow you can put there. So feel free to stay here. Arms are going to come out to a T or a cactus shape. Or keeping all of that engagement, you can start to lower the knees toward the left, and then back to the center, and over to the right, and back to the center. So following your breath here, keeping the knees above the hips, imagining that you're squeezing that block water bottle pillow in between the knees as we wake up the core a little bit more. Ooh, that rhymed. And one more time on each side. And let's hug the knees in again. And let's bring the head up toward the knees, rolling into a cute little ball. Giving yourself a nice big hug. And feel free to stay here, rocking a little side to side. We are going to come up and over into table. So if rocking and rolling up and down the spine feels awesome, feel free to do that. Or if you just want to roll to the side, come up and over, whatever feels good to you. We're going to find our way to table pose. Wrists are going to be underneath the shoulders. Knees are going to be underneath the hips. And we want strong hands pressing the earth away, strong arms. And with your next breath, let's drop the belly, send the heart forward, coming into cow. Exhale, we're going to round the spine, tuck the chin, coming into cat. And let's continue to follow your breath here as you flow between cat, cow. And here's a hot tip for later when the music starts to get a little more bumping. If you move quickly between cat and cow, you're twerking. So if you've never twerked before, or if you've always been wanting to know how to do it, it's just cat, cow, cat, cow, cat, cow. It might come in handy later. Not only are you getting yoga, you're getting dance lessons. And let's start to find that happy middle point between cat and cow, or a happy middle point between your twerk. Where we have a nice strong table back. The crown of the head is reaching forward. We're going to take the left toes and reach them back. We'll keep the toes on the earth. And then we'll reach the right hand forward. So feel free to stay here, or you can keep the hand down. You can begin to fly those toes off of the earth. Again, feel free to stay here. Or you can bring your knee in toward your chest and your elbow in toward your chest as you round the spine, and then send it back out. Doing this 2 more times, following your breath. And you always have the option of just doing the legs or just doing the arms. We'll reach out long, and let's bring the right hand down. The left toes are going to come back down onto the earth. The leg's still going to be outstretched. And we're going to roll to the inner edge of the left foot. We're going to swing the bottom half of the right leg behind you. And we're going to roll the heart open, coming into a modified side plank. So feel free to stay here, or you can start to get really light on those fingertips, the bottom fingertips. Activating the core, you can start to rise up. If that's a lot on the low back, you can always walk the hands forward and come up. We're coming into gate pose. So feel free to stay here, or you take the left hand and reach it down the left leg, reaching the right hand up toward the sky. We'll come back and just a cute boop over to the other side and coming on back. It's like I'm a little teapot. And one more time, flowing through this, opening up the side body. And next time the right hand comes down, the left hand's going to meet it. You're going to square the hips, finding your way back to your table. We'll flow through cat-cow a couple times. Your choice on your speed of cat-cow. And we'll start to find that happy middle point with that strong table back. Right toes reach back, left hand reaches forward. So again, option to stay here, option to fly the toes, or any variation of those two. And option to pull everything in and send it out. 2 more times, whether it's just the arm, whether it's just the leg, or whether it's both. Left hand comes down, right toes come onto the earth. We'll roll to the inner edge of the right foot. Bottom half of the left leg swings back. Open up the heart. So again, option to stay, to start getting light on those fingertips and coming up, or you can walk the hands forward and come up. And let's reach the right hand down the right leg, opening up the left side body, Coming back to the center and coming over to the other side, rising back up. And making sure you're really taking your time using your breath to move through this, because it's a big side opener, but it's also a lot of core work. The next time the left hand comes down onto the earth, right hand's going to meet, and we'll find our way back to our table pose. And let's tuck the toes, and we'll bring the hips up and back, finding our down dog. We're gonna give ourselves a little extra space in this down dog, so let's bring the feet about mat's width distance apart, as well as the hands. You can turn the hands out to like 1 and 11. Took me a minute to think of a clock face. And feel free to sway a little side to side, creating a little extra space in the hips and the shoulders. And keep actively pressing back into the legs, trying to root the heels down toward the earth. They don't have to touch, just that intention of rooting back. And we'll bring the hands more to a traditional spot placement, same with the feet. And as we hang out in down dog and your shoulders are not having it, table pose is always an option for you as well. But from our down dog, let's roll forward, finding our plank pose. Exhale, hips up and back, down dog. 2 more times, flowing through that. And let's bring the knees down onto the earth. Toes come together, knees come apart, and we'll sink our hips back, finding our child's pose. If you need during this child's pose, you can always roll out the wrists, reconnect with your breath. This is my formal invitation to each of you to come to this pose as often as you need. Even though we're going to be moving and flowing during this practice, this pose is always a perfect spot to come back, to reconnect, and to just kind of chill out, really. But again, if child's pose is not your friend, a comfortable seat, you can go there. With your next inhale, let's rise up, finding table again. Let's tuck the toes, hips come up and back, finding our down dog again. And we'll take the right foot and reach it up and back if that feels okay in the body. And with your next exhale, we're going to bring the shoulders over the knees, bringing the knee in, just like when we were in table. And we'll send the foot back. This time we'll bring the knee in and step the foot in between the hands. It doesn't have to be graceful. It can be multiple steps. And let's bring the left knee down onto the earth, finding our low lunge. Feel free to stay here to let the hips get nice and heavy. Or we'll pull the belly in, shine the heart forward, and reach the hands up toward the sky. Taking a moment here. And then we'll bring the hands down onto the earth as we shift our hips back, finding our half split. So we're going to flow through those 2 poses. So if you, depending on how your body's feeling, if you want to keep hands on the earth, feeling grounded, you can walk the hands forward as you come into that low lunge, and then walk the hands back as you come into the half split. So there is that option. Or you can take the hands up to the sky, the low lunge. Then as you move to the half split, you can fly the arms back, sending the heart forward. Whichever one you're doing, we'll flow through it 2 more times. We'll come to our low lunge, hands down on the earth. We'll tuck the back toe, lift the back knee. So we're in our low lunge with the knee up, and we're just going to kind of rock back and forth a little bit. As Mickey likes to say, it's like you're stuck on an elliptical. So we're just rocking back and forth a little bit. And we'll plant the hands, and however it makes sense in your body, we'll go up and back to downward facing dog. From down dog, again, if it feels okay in the body, left foot leaves the earth. Next exhale, bring shoulders over wrists, hugging that left knee in, sending it back. This time as you roll forward with that crunch action, you'll step the foot forward. Again, multiple steps, it's totally fine. And we'll bring the right knee onto the earth. Hands reach up to the sky. And we'll bring the hands down onto the earth and start shifting the hips back, finding our half split. So even if on the other side, you had your hands flowing with the body, for these first couple times, let's keep the hands on the earth, just to honor the fact that each side is different. So this one, it might feel really good to hang out here. And if you want to start adding the arms in, feel free. One more time, flowing through this. We'll bring the hands down onto the earth. Let's tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, and start to rock forward and back. We'll plant the hands, however makes sense in the body. We're going up and back to down dog. And truly, if down dog is not your friend, we're gonna be doing a lot of step throughs from down dog today. If it's not your friend, you have table, then you can bring your foot forward. So there are definitely options. But from down dog, let's take the left foot, reach it up and back. And on your exhale, shoulders over wrists, we're gonna hug the knee in, send it back. Let's hug the knee in again. We're gonna send it back again. And this time, hug the knee in and step the foot forward. We're gonna keep adding on to those cute little down dog crunches. So you've been warned. There's no chair pose though, so that's always good. So we're gonna stay up on those back toes. We're gonna rise up, finding our crescent pose. Inhale, let's straighten both legs. Exhale, let's bend into that front knee and cactus out the arms. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus. Inhale up. This time we're going to, with the front leg straight, we're going to fly the arms back so we send the heart forward. We'll bend into that front knee. Arms reach up. We'll straighten and fly forward. And we'll bend and arms up. So feel free to continue flowing through this. Or you can find length in flight. You can step and bring the knee up and then fly it back. So you can keep 2 feet on the earth, or you can find a little bit of flight and a little bit of balance. One more time. But we're gonna have everybody meet with the right knee in toward the chest. And we'll bring both feet down onto the earth, hands to the heart. Inhale, let's reach. Exhale, let's fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Try not to attack your monstera with your bun. Inhale, halfway lift, yep. And then exhale, let's fold. Inhale, we'll rise up and reach up. And hands to the heart. Inhale, we'll reach. Exhale, we'll fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up and reaching up. Hands to the heart. We'll add on this time. So inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're gonna bend the knees, plant the hands. Let's step back to downward facing dog. And from down dog, we'll roll forward to plank. And let's drop the knees down for this first vinyasa. We'll shine the heart forward as we lower down, elbows point back, tops of the feet planted into the earth, and shrug the shoulders up, back, and down, finding your cute baby cobra. And let's lower. However it makes sense in your body, pressing back to down dog. And from down dog, right foot comes up and back. Exhale, shoulders over knees. Nope, over wrists. And send it back. Shoulders over knees, no thanks. Not in down dog. Bringing it forward, sending it back. And this time, we'll step the right foot forward. And we'll rise up, finding our crescent lunge. Inhale, let's straighten the front leg. Exhale, cactus the arms as we bend. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And cactus. Inhale, straighten. That's like the new bend and snap. The bend and cactus. And heart shines forward. Ooh, it's hard to laugh when you're doing cactus arms. Inhale up. And let's fly the arms back. Heart flies forward. We'll bend into that front knee. Arms reach up. And flying forward. And bend into that front knee. So feel free to continue to flow through this. Or if you're ready to find a little bit of flight and a little bit of balance, the left knee comes up toward the chest. Ooh. One more time, flowing through this. And we'll have everybody bring left knee up and left foot meets right. Arms reach up and exhale to the heart. Inhale, let's reach. And exhale, let's fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise up and reach up. Hands to the heart. 2 more times just like that. Feel free to just follow your own breath. And last time. But this time we're going to hang out in our forward fold for just a moment. So if you want to bring the feet out a little bit wider and bend the knees, hold on to opposite elbows, or let the arms dangle. And if forward fold is a little much on the back and on the hamstrings, you can always come up to our coach pose. We'll be visiting that later, but there's always that option. Because forward fold isn't always the most wonderful pose in every body and in every day. And if you're holding on to opposite elbows, let's release the elbows. Bring the feet back underneath the hips. We'll inhale, find length in the spine again with our halfway lift. And exhale, we'll fold, we'll bend the knees, we'll plant the hands, and let's step the left foot way back. We'll rise up to our crescent pose. Then we're going to open up, finding our warrior two. So this is going to be a nice, fluid, flowy warrior two. So make sure it feels good in your body and in your shoulders. You always have the option of keeping hands at heart as well. So from warrior two, we're going to start to pivot the back toes outward, finding our goddess pose. That one's for you, Jamie. This is one of her favorites to teach. And then we're going to flow to warrior two, facing the back of the mat. So we're going to flow in between those three poses. So warrior two facing front of the mat, goddess, and warrior two back of the mat. And the challenge is to try not to bob up and down too much. And I have this great big bun that's almost like an indicator. So I'm watching myself, trying to keep my bun nice and steady. Arms come up, and we're flowing. And don't forget to breathe. And next time that you're facing the back of the mat, we're going to hang out there. Inhale it, straighten that front leg, arms reach up to the sky, and exhale, warrior two. The back hand is going to glide along the back leg. We'll find our reverse warrior, and we'll come over to side angle. Pressing back, reverse, and back to side angle. One more time. And I hope I'm not the only one who has sweat dripping down their face right now. And we're going to come back through goddess and over to warrior two, facing the front of the mat. Inhale, let's reach up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, warrior two. And we'll reverse. Moving through warrior two, over to side angle. Pressing back and reverse. And back. Side angle. And one more time with reverse. Let's cartwheel the hands down onto the earth. And we'll step back, finding our down dog. We'll bring the knees down. Let's find our child's pose again. Again, utilizing this time to reconnect with your breath or to drink coffee or tea. Cheers. Or to wipe the sweat off of your face. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Opening up the mouth, release the breath. One more time. Deep inhale. And a long, loud exhale. Let's inhale, rise up, finding our down dog. And however it makes sense, we're going to make our way to the top of the mat. So maybe you tiptoe, maybe you walk hands back, maybe you do a combination of all. Find our nice forward fold. Again, feel free to keep a bend in the knees to make the legs and the low back nice and happy. Inhale, let's find our halfway lift. Exhale, let's fold. We're coming to the home stretch. That's going to be a delightfully chilled, wonderful chill out session. So let's rise up and reach up. We'll bring the hands to the heart. Inhale, we'll reach the hands up, and let's continue to reach the hands toward the back of the mat, maybe just 1 to 3 inches as we press the heart forward, and maybe you V the arms a little bit. And let's pull the belly in, stack the shoulders, hands to heart, and let's fold. Finding our halfway lift again. Nice strong table back, crown of the head reaches forward. And let's fold. We're gonna make our way back to downward facing dog. However it makes sense in your body. Option to stay here, or you can roll forward, knees up or down, flowing through that vinyasa. Opening the heart either to low cobra, or maybe put a little more weight in the hands. We'll lower down. And however it makes sense in the body, finding our way back to downward facing dog. Right leg comes up and back. So we have 3 of those cute little crunches and then a step through. Your version of 3. I'm not there to count, so you count. So follow your breath. Exhale brings you forward. Inhale sends you back. And then the step through does not have to be graceful. And we're going to plant that back foot. We're going to rise up, finding our warrior 1. So inhale it, straighten that front leg. Exhale as we bend into that front knee. We're going to press the heart forward, finding our cactus arms. Inhale, straighten, and reach the arms up. 2 more times. Keeping that front leg straight. Let's fly the arms back. Heart reaches forward. So feel free to stay here, or you can find that similar flow to when we were in crescent, where you're bending the knee as you move the arms. Or from the straight leg, the heart propelling forward, you can start to find some flight, finding your warrior 3. But you can be super non-committal about it. So you can be like, nope, not for me. Actually, let's try it again. So you can find flow here in your warrior 3 as well. And let's step that left foot forward to meet the right. Inhale, let's reach up. And exhale, let's fold. Inhale, let's find our halfway lift. Exhale, let's fold. Finding our way back to downward facing dog. So however that makes sense in your body, maybe it's one big step with each leg, maybe just kind of scoot your way back. That's always a fun way. And option to stay here, or we have one last vinyasa. One last baby cobra, or a little more of a cobra. And we'll meet back in down dog. All right. Left leg, 3 of those cute crunches, and then stepping it forward. Again, your count of 3. The left leg reaches up and back, and follow your breath. Doesn't this make you so happy that we only have one set of legs? That we're not like spiders. Can you imagine having to do this 8 times? And step it forward. We're going to plant that back foot, rising up, finding our warrior 1. Let's straighten that front leg, and we're going to bend into that front knee, cactus out the arms. Inhale up, exhale cactus. One more time. Reaching the arms up and flying the arms back. Heart propels forward. So a lot of options here. If you are tired of moving, stay here, or you can even keep the knee bent. You can flow through knee bent and knee straight, or you can start to find warrior 3. And even if with warrior 3, you have a lot of options. You can stay still. You can come in and out of it. Staying there for another breath, wherever you're at. And we'll bring the right knee up and right foot meets left. Inhale, let's reach. Exhale, let's fold. We're done with standing poses. Let's start to chill out, guys. So, as promised, we're coming to coach pose. Go sport team. Go. Motivational speeches happen here. So, elbows are on your thighs. Feel free to stay. Or with your exhale, you can press the forearms into the thighs, round the spine, and then next breath sends the heart forward. So it's kind of a cat-cow. Well, it is cat-cow, just in a different setup of the body. And again, if you want to put your new cat-cow skills to work here, just a quick cat-cow, cat-cow. This is a great spot to practice your twerking. Sorry, Mickey. And if you are so over this and are ready to be on the ground, you can start to make your way there. If you want to hang out in a low squat for a little bit, you can do that. But let's bring it on down. Feet are planted on the earth, knees are bent. You can hold on to either the fronts of the shins or the backs of the thighs, because we're just going to find cat-cow in a different way now. We'll send the heart up toward the sky as you hug the legs in, and exhale. We'll round away from the legs. Inhale, heart presses up. Exhale, round. One more time, pressing up and then rounding back. This time as you round back, you can kind of use your hands to guide the body down. And take a moment with the knees bent to get reacquainted with what laying down feels like. It's a beautiful thing. So we are going to bring the feet together, the knees out. So kind of like, well, we are in that bound angle, diamond shape with the legs, butterfly, all sorts of names for it. But we're laying down, it's a beautiful thing. If this is a lot on the legs, on the hips, you can always bring the hands into fists and use them as support for the legs, or get your handy dandy couch cushions, all those good things. We're going to be here for a couple breaths. You can play with the leg placement, how far away you want the legs to be from the body. And let's bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And we'll reconnect with that beautiful, deep, intentional breath. Let's bring the hands to the outer edges of the thighs. And we'll use the strength of the hands to bring the knees together. We just spent that time and breath to open up the legs a little bit, so we don't want to have to then use those muscles right away again. And let's press the right foot up toward the sky. Let's hold on to the backside of the leg and actively press the backside of the leg into the hands. If this is a little harder, not quite as accessible to hold on to without bringing the head off of the earth, you can always hold on to your pants or your shorts. Or if you have a dish towel or a blanket, you can use that as a strap as well. I'm going to take this moment to release the hamstrings a little bit. We kind of use them a lot today. And as you feel ready, we'll bend the knee, we'll cross the ankle over the left leg, finding that figure four shape again. And we'll start to sway side to side. And maybe with one of your sways, you roll all the way to the outer edge of that left hip. And you're going to bring the right foot down onto the earth. But for me, I always have to kind of help my right foot down onto the earth. So maybe you reach down with the left hand and just kind of guide that foot down, holding onto the ankle. And if you'd like, you can extend the right arm away from the body, T-shape or cactus arms. And instead of letting that right knee come in toward the body, can you start to press it away from the body, toward the front edge of the mat? And then start to fall back into that deep, intentional breath. And if this is a little too pretzel-y or just really is not feeling great on the body, you can always find your favorite version of a supine twist. And I know for me, when I come into these poses, there's always a couple spots in my body that are still just holding on and not quite softening and releasing into the pose. So maybe you take a quick scan of the body and see if your hip is still being a little cranky and holding on, or maybe you're using the space in between your eyebrows a little too much. And if and when you've identified those spaces, just start to send your breath toward those spaces, not physically, but intentionally. You'll send your breath toward your cranky hip or your furrowed brow or your shoulders that want to be best friends with your ears. And keeping that figure four shape, let's come back to the center. We'll press the right foot up toward the sky again, and then we'll bring right foot down onto the earth. And the left foot reaches up toward the sky, holding onto the backside of the leg, either with hands, with pants or shorts, or maybe a makeshift or real strap. And you'll actively press the leg into the hands and then press the hands back into the leg, finding that release. And when you're ready, we'll cross the ankle over the right leg. And we'll start our sway side to side. And as you feel ready, you'll roll to the outer edge of that right hip. Maybe you reach down with the right hand and help guide that left foot down. And maybe right arm comes out to a T or a cactus shape. And take these first few moments to start to settle into this pose, appreciating the differences in the sides of our bodies. Come back to that intentional breath. And start to do that cute little scan of the body, finding the spaces and places that need a little extra help and love softening into this pose. And then do a quick check-in with that left knee. Make sure that it's pressing away from your body and not collapsing into the body. And as you feel ready, keeping that figure four shape in the legs, we'll come back to the center. We'll press the left foot up toward the sky again and bring the left foot down onto the earth. We'll hug the knees in toward the chest one last time. Bring the head and shoulders off of the earth, finding that cute little hug ball, we'll say, because you're in a ball and you're hugging yourself. It's a hug ball. You're welcome for that new phrase. And as you feel ready from your hug ball, one limb at a time, you'll start to release down into our final resting pose. And maybe Your final pose looks very similar to how you began your practice. Maybe it looks a little different. Before you sink into your Shavasana, just take a quick moment to recognize how the breath is moving in the body, how the body is hopefully energized and a little more spacious. How hopefully the mind is a little less foggy, a little more clear, a little less weighed down. Recognizing that you have created this with your breath, your intention, your body, your movement, your flow. You've created this space for yourself, for those you're sharing your space with. You've created this magic. And as you feel ready, begin to deepen the breath, gently inviting movement back into the hands and the feet, rocking the head side to side, rolling over to your favorite side, gently pressing your way up, coming to a comfortable seat with the hands at the heart. Thank you for sharing your practice, energy, and spirit with me this morning, for starting your Saturday practicing with the community that just adores you. And thanks for twerking with me a little bit. The light within me honors the light within each and every one of you. Namaste. And cheers. It's the weekend and it's 11 o'clock, so beer time. Once I finish my coffee. But thank you guys so much for practicing with me this morning. It's always such a pleasure to invite you guys to my little home jungle and flow with you guys. So thank you so much. Keep an eye out for all of our Salem classes, in-person classes. We have registration that opens up, so just keep an eye out for that. And for all my Portland buddies, just keep an eye out because we have some exciting things happening for Portland. I'm so excited about them. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for joining me. Information for donations is in the class description. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend and get out there and enjoy the sunshine. Thank you. And hold on, let's see. Jerry and Cheryl, cat cow, I'm telling you. Cat cow will never be the same. Again, Mickey, I'm sorry. Have a great weekend.